Welcome to Intelligent Human Leadership, leading yourself and your team. Do you ever find yourself grappling with a lack of confidence in your team? Or battling the relentless waves of concern and fear? Are the pressures to meet client expectations and the burden of missed opportunities weighing you down? On this podcast, you'll discover the strategies and insights that will reignite your team's morale and help you find the harmony and knowledge you seek to propel your business forward. Here, we explore innovative ways to reignite your creative spirit and achieve greatness, empowering you to lead with intelligence, compassion, and resilience. If you're ready to dive deep into your core of leadership challenges and be guided toward success, here's your host, founder of Steward Your Business, David Carr.
All right. What if I told you the most powerful tool in leadership isn't giving the right answers, but asking the right questions? That's it. That's what we're going to talk about today on the Intelligent Human Leadership Podcast. How do we ask better questions as leaders? What's the difference here between direction and discovery? This is going to be a short form episode here today. Right to the point, I'm jumping in there because the power of asking right questions in leadership is very influential and impactful if you do it well. And I'm going to give you just 3 questions today that you can consider, take with you. I've got many more, but I'm going to give you 3 on today's episode to help improve your leadership impact. All right. I found through my own coaching and experience that when I was asked questions in a very clear, simple way, it provided a place of clarity and understanding. And I've done this for my own team, and I continue to do this about myself in this place. And so oftentimes it's just a question of, what is working or what is not working, and simply getting clearer on those 2 questions. Why do leaders struggle with questions? Most leaders feel like they have to have all the answers, right? That they know it all, or come off that way. And I found that when you come off having the pressure, and I would say it's unrealistic that you would have all the questions, answer all the questions. But it creates a dependency culture, dependency on you as a leader to have all the answers, to come after you, knocking on your door saying, hey, what's the answer to this? What's the answer to that? Rather than being a place that is empowering others. If you're in a place of empowering others, they feel more engaged. They feel alive, if you will, instead of like, man, I just feel like I have to just keep coming back to this person. I'm not, living all out. I'm not going all in because I can't. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, and I need to rely on somebody else. And so when you're fixing things all the time and you're always having all the answers, it doesn't create a space for the team to grow, the team to come and develop. And that's what you really want to have in a team, developing your team. The real job of a leader is that creating clarity, asking clarifying questions, not just having all the solutions. If you're in the meeting and you have all the answers, that's a problem. You should have other people on your team, other people that you can call on to and say, you know what, I'm not sure about that, but I can find out. I'm gonna inquire about that. When we start to ask questions, we're going to be much more impactful. I'm going to give you 3 game-changing questions, leadership questions you can use here as I always try to empower you to be an intelligent human leader, so that you can create breakthroughs for yourself and your team. But start with these 3. So the first one I'm going to give you is, what is the real challenge here? We're forcing clarity. Most problems are symptomatic in nature and they're not at the root cause. You might have heard, the why and ask why. We're trying to get at the root cause The question is basically making people dig deeper. What is the real challenge here? Let's go beyond the surface, the initial response here, but get clearer on what it really is. That's one question you can ask. What is the real challenge here? Number two is, what's another way to look at this? It expands our perspective. It helps us break default thinking patterns and encourages creative problem solving. Now, you might have heard of that. Some people are more naturally creative than others. That happens, I understand. But here's the thing. If we ask this question and ask about looking at it in a different way, just spark some curiosity there. How could this be different? What's another way to look at this or perceive this? So that's question number two. And question number three is, what's the next smallest step that you can take? So that we're inspiring action, we're inspiring movement. Sometimes we get paralyzed. Analysis by paralysis, you might have heard, or we're not sure what the next step is to take, and so we're hesitant to move. So what I'm saying is, what is the next step? What's the smallest thing that you can do today to move the needle forward? Is it making a call? Is it sending an email? Is it doing some research? What is that step so that we prevent overwhelm and we build on momentum? So when you're doing this, I found, particularly when I've been doing performance reviews or and analyzing people in their teams and where they want to grow and where they want to go, they do get overwhelmed. So we just break it down. Like, what is this thing that you can work on today? What's the one thing? And again, what can you look at it? How can it be differently? Or what's the real challenge here? Those are just three questions. I'm just spitfiring at you here on today's podcast that help you get clearer and really help in changing how you lead. Now think about this. You can use these same questions, whether it's with your team or potentially new clients, a new customer. What is the real challenge that they're facing, right? How could they look at this differently? How could your solution solve their problem? What's the smallest step they could take to work with you today to get going and implementing, taking action here, right? We use this in different ways. It could be in meetings, right? Rather than we're saying, well, we're being prescriptive, you do this, you do that. We're opening it up. We have open-ended questions. In coaching, I challenge surface level answers that I get. We're going deeper, and we're going to strip away this, we don't even realize it. I've talked about how I may have lies of omission, where we're not really telling the whole truth. Maybe we don't even understand what it really is. So we strip away that in asking these questions and being curious. And in decision making, we can slow things down and seek deeper clarity before taking action. Hold on. Let's get understanding of where we're at, what's going on here. Like I said earlier, what's working, what's not working. There's a whole host of questions that you can unpack. And I will encourage you to kind of have a toolbox, if you will, of questions, not answers, not solutions, although those are helpful as well. There's a time and a place for them. But today, I'm really empowering you to think about the power of questions in leadership, leading your team, leading those that you're working with. It could be leading your family. Think about this, applying it to your spouse, to your children, to an organization that you're a part of. Before responding with a leadership conversation, pause and ask yourself, what question could I ask right here instead? Rather than just having the answer, being the answer man, what could I do? So I'm going to prompt you here as a call to action. In your next conversation, resist the urge, right, to give advice or to say, okay, instead ask a better question. Do this. Look at this. Maybe in like the next 24 hours is something very doable. What could you do to ask a better question? Or perhaps an engagement, meaning, what's the best leadership question you've ever been asked? Think about this. You could message me. I want to hear that from you. So think about, where are you at? And finally, if you want to level up a leader, don't just work on what you say, but work on the questions you ask. And you're going to be much better equipped. So I appreciate you for listening in here. I hope this really helps you, and you can use these questions to apply in how you're showing up as a leader in your teams, with your clients, wherever you might be. And I appreciate you spending the time with me here again on the Intelligent Human Leadership Podcast. Have an amazing day. Thanks for listening, everybody.